Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of the Dramatic Dream Dragons podcast here on the 5-Star Network. We, as always, are a podcast all about DRAGONGATE and DBT, and I am, as always, your host, Sondre, and with me today I have both the Dream and the Dramatic. I have both Yannik and Dylan with me. The whole crew is gathered again after Yannik took last week off. How are you guys doing?
You know, Sondre, I can't let it be. I have to be back after a long day, lots of training, getting stuff done. I'm here to talk about some heartbreaking happenings.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here too, and funnily enough, right before we started the show, I got a message. So at some point during the show, I may have to jump off randomly at some point just to take care of something around the house. So if I do jump off, it's not meant to be an insult to whatever the topic is at the time. It's only something out of my control. But I mean, it'll only be for a few minutes probably on there. But I'm warning everyone now. I may jump off in the middle of the show at some point.
But he will be back.
Yes, it's not forever. I will come back. You know, and where would I be without the Dramatic Dream Dragons? Where would I be without you, Yannik? Where would I be without you, Sondre? But most importantly, where would I be without the listeners out there? You know, what would I give to live where you are? What would I pay to stay here beside you? What would I do to see you smiling at me? These are all words from The Little Mermaid, which I have seen recently.
When
But
you come back, will you do the Orny voice? No, that's disappointing.
What did you think about The Little Mermaid?
I liked it. You know, I went with my little sister and a cousin of mine. Who's like my sister is still in her 20s, but my cousin's younger. Yeah, it was fun. Like, you know, I'm an OG Disney fan. You know, I grew up with the cartoon versions of everything, so this is the latest in a long line of live actions. I mean, they've hit pretty much everything at this point. They had Beauty and the Beast. They had Lion King. Even Will Smith was in that randomly.
Yeah.
Lion King. That they use real animals or CGI. One or the other.
The world of Disney live-action remakes never stop. Just like the world of DRAGONGATE never stops.
Ooh, you really wanted that, but it works.
Yeah, good job.
Okay, so
good job, Sondre.
We are recording on Saturday, the day after two back-to-back DRAGONGATE shows on June 1st and June 2nd from Korakuen Hall. But we can't start our review talking about those shows before we address the big news that broke yesterday, right after the Korakuen Hall show ended. Open Voice Gate confirmed a report that Dave Meltzer had made earlier on in the day in the Wrestling Observer newsletter. And of course, I am happy that VoiceGate confirmed that, because as we saw last year, Dave Meltzer's reporting about DRAGONGATE could be very questionable, but VoiceGate have confirmed from their sources also. So they announced that the reports of SB KENTo and Takuma Fujiwara no longer being with DRAGONGATE are true, and they have been confirmed by multiple sources, and Open the Voice Gate will have more information on their podcast on Tuesday. So definitely go and watch that, listen to that on Tuesday, because I am so interested in hearing what they have heard, because I am confused about this. I am shocked. It feels weird. It feels very sudden, but yeah. SB KENTo Takuma Fujiwara has been on an excursion in Mexico, and SB KENTo has done some US shows also, but mainly in Mexico for over a year now. They left last year sometime in June. No, it was right after Kobe World. So they left then, and it's kind of sad because SB KENTo especially was pushed like crazy right when he started wrestling for DRAGONGATE. Like, he immediately was pushed into the DRAGONGATE Kid storyline, which was really good. The big standout, of course, that started all that was the RED versus Torimon Unit Disbands match. And it felt like both these guys were going to be big when they came back. We have no idea what happened that made them leave. We can't. I don't want to speculate about that even because it's so. It can be so personal, and I don't want to speculate about that and stuff like that. But it's sad news, and we kind of have to just wait for Open the Voice Gates podcast about it to find out what happened or what they know.
Well, Sondre, I'll have you know that I did some digging as well.
Okay.
And I went to a really trusted source of mine for this. And he told me not to name him, but with what this bombshell I'm about to drop, I have to say who it is.
Okay.
KENTo Ishida, I emailed recently, and he told me that this was all Nosawa Rungai's fault.
Yeah.
That this is a report right now.
It's
This is
because of his
essentially-
booking of Dragon Gate, right?
Yes, exactly. He told me that he
Okay.
was actually the booker of Dragon Gate.
Okay.
So Ishida, definitely the real version. He told me not to message him online or anything like that either. I don't know why. I mean, I consider us very close, me and this guy, but unfortunately, he didn't want that communication just because he didn't want anybody tracking him down. Obviously, from DG, he didn't want any trouble. But this is this is the exclusive source right now. KENTo Ishida once again emailing people about Dragon Gate, even now that he's in Gleed.
Yeah. No. But yeah.
Well, regardless of that, there you go on, Yannik.
Yeah, like the interesting stuff like isn't like what happened. I don't want to speculate on that, but like
Yeah.
where it's going. And
Where it's going, it's
I think there's only like two possibilities. And I think one is far more likely than the other. It's either the WWE or New Japan. If you ask me,
it is
or they stay freelance with
the thing is the big thing
in
here
Mexico.
is for me is that if they wanted to be freelance in Mexico and the States and maybe like in Japan, it feels so like to just like upright leave like this feels so weird. It feels so sudden. Of course, they might have gotten like word from some some companies in Mexico that wanted to push them big, and they haven't. But they wouldn't do that if they were under the Dragon Gate name. That could be. That's the only like where they are going is so like we don't know. We have no idea because they haven't wrestled for 2 months or 3 months. And I think the last match I saw of KENTo's was in February, which was why I was thinking that he was gonna come back soon, but he never came back. They have been like they haven't shown up at all anywhere for like 3 months now.
It's just weird.
It is very weird. For it to happen this suddenly felt so WWE. It's so like WWE to sign someone away like this so suddenly, and not allow them to have like a farewell for in the company, even though they haven't been in the company for a year now. Takuma Fujiwara was back in November at Gate of Destiny, but again, that was also when he faced Eita, and they kind of teased something between him and Eita in the future, and then this year they announced Eita was going to be full-time freelancer. So yeah, it's only speculation. Yeah,
you know, when you see stuff like this, the sad thing is about it is that in Dragon Gate they actually had set up a lot of stuff that would, on paper, be ideal places for SBK to return multiple times at this point. Obviously, Fujiwara is a little bit newer than SBK and not as prominently featured.
He was still featured a lot when he was a junior, like getting the Brave Gate match with Dragon Dia, and just getting all those like big spots while he was a junior, and then
Yeah.
being sent on the excursion.
Well, obviously he was like everybody knew how great of a talent he was and what a big
Yeah.
star he could become for the company if things work out. But he just wasn't as accomplished as SBK
Yeah.
when he left. And they set up things that would be perfect situations for SBK to return as, in time period. We talked about the 6 promo where he was left out. That would be an obvious thing for him to return and be like, hey, what about me? I should be in this group as well. He had stuff in his hometown at one point. No return there. The thing is, all you can do is speculate because we're probably never gonna know the real story behind this. At the end of the day, it's not like a situation where, if it was an American person, you would probably get it to come out eventually, one way or the other. With something like this, there's just no way we're ever gonna know, really. Where they go, I think it's interesting that they both leave at the same time. Kind of like I said before, there's been a lot of people that have left, like, not that long ago. At the end of the day, last year we talked that fake Kaito Ishida email aside, the actual Kaito Ishida did leave, in fact, just last year. So you see stuff like that. And he was going to be a guy. He was definitely a heavily featured guy, probably as accomplished, if not more, than SBK. So you see stuff like that. There was a lot of stuff with Eita. Eita and Doi is a little bit of a different situation. Stuff like Ishida, these two. They're still there. It's not really a heat situation, just moving on with their careers type of deal. And I mean, I don't know what the issue was that caused this, or made them want to leave, but it's not the first time. I mean, if you even go back, I mean, the last 5 years has seen multiple ins and outs in this company. Ever since ownership had their shakeup and Shima and everybody left, there's been shakeups here and there at Dragon Gate. I don't know what the problem could have been this time specifically, just because they were gone for so long. Like you said, Fujiwara did return for that one-off at the end of last year. It's a shame, talent-wise, obviously. I mean, I think the world of SBK. I think he's a great character.
Yeah,
would have been him.
If you go back in the archives of this show, we have almost every time we've speculated about future challengers for the Dreamgate or people that could with King of Gate. SB KENTo's name has come up because we knew we were thinking that when he was coming back, he was gonna have an explosive return, and it all just led to this.
And it's just where they go from here. I don't think there's any clear answer.
Yeah.
I think the idea of them just running around Mexican indies to me seems really unlikely.
Yeah.
It would be terrible.
Well, not just for the fans, but just you're not making nearly as much money that you could there. I think that's really unlikely and far fetched. WWE, I think it's gonna be really tough. I think they may be interested in SBK as the thing is they're so small that they're gonna have a.
Should note that that is true with WWE, but should note that SBK and Io Shirai have become very close during the months that he has been in the States. Seemingly from their Twitter posts and stuff like that, they hang out a lot of the time, and she could have been in with them to WWE if that would be kind of my speculation. If they are going to WWE, it would be, I would think Io Shirai would have helped with that.
And I just don't think she has that kind of pull.
She probably doesn't.
Yeah, like I said, for that to even matter, if that was even something they wanted, and like I said, I don't think WWE would want them because they're too small at the end of the day. They already have Tozawa, and we see what they do. And Tozawa is way more accomplished than either of these two, as much as I like them. I just can't see that really being a possibility. I think AEW is much more likely because they've already appeared on Dark. They've already had a look at them.
Takuma Fujiwara has not worked a match in the States.
Yeah, I think he didn't have a US visa.
Yeah,
but that could have changed. So.
That could have changed now, though. But SB KENTo has worked Dark, and we never saw those matches. I think.
Oh, really?
I think the matches him and La Estrella worked on AEW Dark were not taped because some
Oh,
contractual obligation.
No. Didn't somebody get injured in that match?
I don't know, but I when that happened, when those matches happened, I thought maybe they didn't air because Dragon Gate wouldn't allow it to air, even though that would be weird. And then SB Kento has said before that he considers Deadlock Pro his second home when he's in the States. Which would I don't see Deadlock Pro having the pull to sign some people like LA. So that's not, but I've seen speculation about that. And
that's great.
He was in Battle of Los Angeles too, right?
yeah, he was in Battle.
Yeah, see, so I just don't know why you'd want to go indie in America.
I'm so confused. But the other side of the coin is what's up with Dragon Gate.
Well,
do we need to be worried? I don't think so. They're still pretty well set for the future.
Yeah.
But it's like they had 3 supernova rookies in the last few years. And now there's only 1 left.
Yeah.
With Mochi Jr.
And he's injured. But he's coming back in July. But yeah. It is very disappointing because these two had I had such big hopes for these two in Dragon Gate that it obviously made me very depressed yesterday when I saw the news. I couldn't when I saw the news yesterday, I couldn't process it for an hour. I just sat there and just didn't know what to say about it at all because I was so looking forward to them coming back to Dragon Gate. I have really missed SB Kento this year, and I was really ready for him to come back. So it's disappointing. It is very disappointing, and I hope we can move on from this, and I hope there's no more Dragon Gate. People that leave Dragon Gate this year, because I think even though the roster is so stacked, this still hurts them somewhat.
Yeah.
And obviously, as a fan, losing him that hurts. I think the way Dragon Gate's set up, it's smartly run in terms of a small business organization, very tight knit. The reality is, there's no 1 person or 2 persons or 3 persons or 5 or 10 that would leave that would take down Dragon Gate that they couldn't move on from.
Yeah, that's
pretty much. Unless it was something where the whole roster left. Literally, if you lost a lot more people, they would still be able to find their way just because of the way that the company is ran.
There's no shot of this happening, but yeah, I think if all 3 of the Courage left, that would be a blow. But yeah.
Yeah, but they could catch.
They could.
Yeah. There's a lot of guys that could be blows, but there's nobody that would be anything devastating.
Give them half a year and
yeah, exactly.
Kota Minoura is the man, and Kato is right up there, and
look at the debut that debuted last week. Ryo Tanaka. He's already good.
Yeah,
he's already showing promise, and that is not to mention with Daiki Yanaguchi and Kaito Nagano and all the rookies that have debuted since SBK and
absolutely,
and Takuma Fujiwara left last year.
Okay. Are we done with this?
Yeah,
we don't really have anything to tell. But on an unrelated note, Noah announced that Kinya Okada and Yasutaka Yano left them.
Yes.
And I want them to join DDT so they can form a stable with Yusuke Okada and Mizuki Watase and call themselves the Reject.
That's good, but I think they have heat with Cyberfight, and that's why they left. And Cyberfight DDT.
We don't know. In all honesty,
yeah.
In all honesty, I would love Kinya Okada in DDT. Yano is great, but I don't really see him fitting.
Yeah, they're
Oh.
not going to go there or anywhere Noah has relations with.
Yeah,
They
I
said-
don't think so either.
They don't act like they have relations with DDT.
Well, they
Yeah.
might not act like it, but I mean,
Also,
even
they're owned by the same company.
well, not
But
even
yeah.
that. Yeah, just all Japan, Dragon Gate, they're all off the table for those guys.
Yeah,
So I don't.
also
They
think
might
so.
they might not wrestle again, like those two, like in general. But that's a whole
Yeah.
different situation.
That is definitely a whole different situation.
I don't think it's impossible that SBK couldn't go to Noah.
Yeah, I thought that too, because they'll pay them way better.
I don't know why another Puro company would sign them away from Dragon Gate, because both of them are unproven talents.
SBK is not
The
unproven.
talent-
Yeah, he's not unproven, but like yeah.
As I said, they're supernovas. It's so clear that they are stars, or like
Yeah.
have every tool to be one.
Wherever SB Kento and Takuma Fujiwara land, they will improve that company because they are two great talents.
They wouldn't improve Noah because they won't be handled right.
Well, that's also not an incorrect statement.
Yeah, the dramatic Dream Dragons feud with Pro Wrestling Noah continues. But yeah, we should move on from Takuma Fujiwara and SB Kento. Everyone, on Tuesday, check out Voices of Wrestling's Open the Voice Gate podcast, where they will cover that. Case and Mike are very knowledgeable about Dragon Gate. They have helped me a lot of the time with that, and I do think they will know the situation way better than we will. So
yeah, they have a pretty good track record.
Definitely check out that dropping on Tuesday on the Voices of Wrestling YouTube channel and Spotify and all that. But some other news before we move over to review these Korakuen Hall shows are that at the end of the Hopeful Gate Osaka show on the 28th of May, after D-Courage won, Madoka Kikuta picked Yuki Yoshioka as his challenger at Kobe World for the Open the Dream Gate title. And when they announced this, I thought we were gonna get some shakeup. If we didn't, first of all, the D-Courage versus Gold Class match from Osaka on the 28th is probably the best Dragon Gate match the last 2 weeks, the last week. So definitely go watch that. It's better than all the matches on the Korakuen Hall show, in my opinion. So that's that. But it is interesting that they are doing Madoka Kikuta versus Yuki Yoshioka, babyface versus babyface, D-Courage versus D-Courage, unit versus unit match as the main event of Kobe World without having any big shake-up to it. None of them have turned heel or something like that. No stipulation has been announced. It is just two of the best wrestlers in Dragon Gate facing off against each other. The wrestler that was the champion last year and at the start of this year, and that won the title at Kobe World last year in the main event, challenging the Madoka Kikuta in Madoka Kikuta's first defense. What do you guys think about this? Yannik?
I'm really looking forward to this because the match will be awesome.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure there will be more nuance put into this.
Yeah.
But even face to face, like this will be great just on a match level.
Yeah,
But
it is like they have the two best wrestlers in the company and they put them against each other.
yes.
So
they proved me wrong with them pinning with Kikuta pinning Benkei.
Yeah.
Which is a shame.
Yeah.
Like it should have been the other way around than Riguchi, but I don't want to complain about this. Match was pretty cool. And the main this isn't the main event I'm really interested in until it happens, and then it will be great.
Yeah. On on paper it's a kind of not cold, but not that special.
No. This isn't cold.
It's
They're
not a
both
cold, yeah.
very over.
But it's also like it's not that special as a Kobe World main event. It
I
doesn't
think
feel.
we'll talk
yeah.
about the card later.
Dylan, what do you think about this?
You know, I really agree with what you said. As a match, it's great. I mean, Yoshioka, we've long since talked about our respect for his in-ring and how great he is, and his title reign is legendary to me in the Dragon Gate world.
Yeah.
But it's not that special. Like, on paper, like this match, they haven't built it up to be. It's not anything against these two.
Even after the Korakuen, they haven't built it up to be anything special either.
Yeah.
Except these two are really great and will have a great match.
Yeah, and I just think, man, you know, you had an opportunity here to do something really big. I still wonder, you know, Kikuta as champion, you know, I felt like they needed some work for not for him, but the surrounding cast of characters around him to really build big matches. You know, because once you get past Shun, there's no real big heel they set up lately. Like that could be that guy,
Yeah.
like that Kobe World level guy. So I was wondering what they had planned. I kind of pitched the idea of the big six match, like all six of them together. I thought that would at least be feel special. As a singles, Yoshioka is as good of an option as any, but this whole Kobe World build is so strange to me. I really don't understand it. Why they had to get rid of King of Gate? Was that the only reason that they're like, well, we can't have Yoshioka win twice in a row, so we have to take it away and we're gonna put him in the main event.
Yeah.
I really have no problem with King of Gate being afterwards, because I often feel like someone winning a tournament and then having them and then waiting a long time until they, you know, get the title match. I feel tournament winners are often pretty cold.
They wouldn't have had to wait though, like,
They
especially
would
with
have
Kobe
waited,
World being
like,
so.
2 weeks or something.
Yeah,
like that.
this 2 week
Yeah.
wait that he could have had.
Yeah.
I think they could have spared it.
I oftentimes prefer like a bigger, you know, a bigger story to go into the biggest show of the year and do like the winner of King of Gate get the title match in a lesser quote unquote show.
Yeah.
I prefer that, but like they started building up a challenger a month out.
Yeah.
And then they don't really focus on it. I prefer the approach, but they already kind of fumbled it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if what you said was true and they had a big match anyway, it would have been fine. But they don't, so now it's
Yes.
worse.
Yes. Exactly.
I kind of wonder. This is a conspiracy we're talking about here. The pure speculation. Considering what's happening on the wrestling card with Hiromu coming in. I was kind of wondering if they really were trying to get Shingo for that main event, and things fell through. And they basically
could obviously be the case, yes.
Yeah, and basically they compromised with this, so Hiromu they could get a guy with a win. You still get the New Japan thing, but you don't get a main event. And they just said, okay, you know, what can we do? Our plans have been foiled, and we have a month to go. We have to get a main event. Okay, we're gonna bring the main guy from last year back, and you know, you have the
also,
obvious. Yeah,
these two are the main characters of Dragon Gate. This, like, the last 2 years, they have been, ever since last year, when Yuki Yoshioka won the King of Gate, he has been the main guy in Dragon Gate.
I agree about Yoshioka, but...
And then Kikuta this year has been elevated to that position also, especially with the Reyes de Pereas being a lot more about Kikuta, not that much about Yuki Yoshioka, and that leading to Kikuta beating Shun Skywalker. Like, these two won the Reyes de Pereas, so we already have that. They are tag partners. It's not like it's... These two are their big stars. So it is... Yeah.
I think Yoshioka is the one that struggled like lately. Like
Yeah,
last year,
but
yes.
I think that is his story this year, though. That he has struggled because he lost the title and then he didn't quite recover from it.
Or do
That
you
would be
mind
great.
in ring? Do you mind in ring he struggled?
No, I'm saying
Okay,
just
okay.
like is the
If-
he has not been a main character this year.
Yeah, he
And,
has
Like
lost a lot since
if he challenged himself,
Yeah,
there was no way to make this believable.
yeah, but then
Like Kikuta needed to
dominated
challenge
him.
Yoshioka.
Yeah.
Or like dominate him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. And like I said, I've liked the story up to this point. I don't like it going into Kobe World, and now we're like I said, if there was more time to kind of get there, I think I could have been down with this. Which I think the tournament would have helped a lot if you had Yoshioka have a lot of huge wins building up to that.
And even
Yeah.
time would maybe be okay if there was more intensity to it.
Yeah.
And that's going to be tough because they're partners.
Yes.
But the exchanges they have had on the especially on the preview tag on night 2 of the Korakuen was really good. Like I'm so ready for that match too.
Nobody doubts the match quality. Like here, like
Yes.
I love the Yoshioka. Kikuta, I think I would put I don't want to say a full level below, but I would say Yoshioka is the better of the two in the ring personally. But
Definitely the more proven one.
Yeah. Exactly. Kikuta's on his way up. Like he'll get there sooner rather than later. But either way, these two are gonna have a great match. I don't think there's any doubt about that, and that's for the fans of Dragon Gate. If you have been following along with both of these guys' journey, and you've been watching them all year, and you see what Kikuta's done, and he's had a great year in ring and story wise, you know that this match is gonna slap.
Yeah.
But I just think that they could have handled it a bit better, and that's kind of what makes me think what I said earlier may be the case.
And yeah, I definitely like that Shingo theory that they couldn't get Shingo, so this is their a reserve match. But this,
sorry, go on.
I was going to move on to the Kobe World.
Okay, yeah. And then I want to say first that remember that Ben was pinned here.
Yeah. And then he recovered by winning both the matches on the next show on the Korakuens.
Yes.
But yeah.
But we'll get to that at the Korakuens.
Yeah. But yeah, they at these Korakuen Hall shows, they definitely set the Kobe World shows more up, and the card are now more complete. And we'll talk about the card in full later. But of course, the big news coming out of the first night of Korakuen was at the end of the show, after Yamato, Dragon Kid, and Naruki Doi beat Yuki Yoshioka, Dragon Daya, and Madoka Kikuta in the main event, when Yamato hit a awesome Galeria on Dragon Kid, Dragon Daya, after 17 minutes and 9 seconds, a video, first of all, the Lek Corporation guys came in, and Ryo Saito, and they said they have a big match for Yamato set up for Kobe World Pro Wrestling Festival, and on the screen, then the challenger was gonna, the wrestler he was gonna face would show up, and when the New Japan logo flashed on the VTR, I immediately thought Shingo, but no. This on Kobe World, it will be Hiromu Takahashi, the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion, facing Yamato, the Almighty. This is a story that they set up from the All-Star Junior Festival when Yamato said that you can't have that New Japan are very like bullish when they book these shows. They always try to go over and stuff like that. And it is a story that they have been building since then. They already kind of like, were they in the same match at the All-Star Junior Festival?
Yeah. It was the champion.
Yeah, they were the opener, remember? They moved the 6 minutes opener.
So yeah, that it was set up there, and of course sponsored by Lek, because only Lek could get this match. The Money Mark Lek Corporation boss could get this match, and I would say that this is a great special singles match to have on the Kobe World Undercard. Like this might go as the semi-final of the show.
Oh,
Like, not
absolutely.
for the main event.
Cage match. But
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. This absolutely has the marks of a match that is very high up. You know, this is kind of like the opposite of the main event, where this will like this gets people talking about it.
Yeah.
But I'm not really into the match.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Like it will be really good. It will be fun. I can tell you off the top of my head like 5 matches I would have rather seen between these two companies, but you know that's fine. This is obviously a match to get people to watch the show, and
also,
I'll watch it anyway. And you know I'm already here.
yeah, you're in the crowd.
This isn't really a match for me. I will enjoy it though. Like it's not like that. I think this is really cool.
Dylan, what do you think about this?
To me, Hiromu coming in is huge.
Yeah.
He's among the top talents in Japan. He's been one of the best wrestlers in any company this year. You know, you look at his run of in-ring performances, has just been phenomenal up and down. I wish it was someone besides Yamato, just me as a fan. But you know, him being there as a draw on its own, no matter who it was, I just personally am not interested in this at all. Like, you know, I don't think there's any Yamato match I could actually get super hyped for, except for the Yoshioka match last year, which was very, like, obviously a great and emotional match. Just him. I like the story they did too for the junior festival they had there. That was like really interesting. I think giving Yamato a chance to be more heelish is a way they'll make this work, and it'll be great by the end of it. And we'll all say, man, Hiromu delivered again. Yamato stepped up and had this great match. But I just wish it was someone else, personally.
I mean, he is the biggest veteran they have.
Yeah, the match makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just not for us.
Yeah, I am obviously the more Yamato fan of this group because I have always been a fan of Yamato. I think
like him. It's just not exciting.
The shop exchange between Yamato and Hiromu alone is what makes this match worth it for me. Because I will already I already see them having a great shop exchange that makes me like wince because it looks so painful.
Speaking of chop, aren't we going to talk about the Ryuya Tanaka debut?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that when we talk about this match. But yeah.
Okay, because we were on the Osaka show and then you jumped to the
Korakuen. Yeah. But yeah, this I think Yamato makes sense as the guy that they bring in that they have Hiromu face, and I think Yamato at this point is so like easy to pin also that it won't do any damage to Dragon Gate if Hiromu comes in and pins him, which he obviously is going to do.
Easy to pin. Remember when what's his name?
Yoshioka thought that when Marufuji was here too.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
I knew what you were thinking of. Yeah.
But you know, you're not wrong, Sondre. You're not wrong.
They set up everything.
There's no way Hiromu will lose.
Yeah, it's totally logical that that this match happened, considering what they already built up.
And it also just puts a very special singles match on the card, which people like a lot of people that doesn't follow Dragon Gate at all were really hyped for this when they saw it. Because it's Hiromu. Like Hiromu is gonna bring in some new viewers to Dragon Gate, and that's always a plus.
Yeah. That's the main point here.
Yeah, absolutely. Him coming in is a huge get for Dragon Gate. It's gonna be awesome. You know, like I said, this match is gonna rule at the end of it, and Hiromu's gonna get a lot of new fans to DG. I think that's pretty obviously stated. It's just interesting that this happened. And because we're right for New Japan, that's going to be pretty much coming right on the cusp of the G1.
Yeah.
Which should be interesting. A lot of people have speculated that Hiromu might be in that this year. You know, people have speculated that many years and it's never happened. So,
yeah.
You know, it doesn't. Well, I mean, we'll know tomorrow as we're recording anyway, since they're going to announce the G1 blocks. But he is a guy that has been a staple of the junior division in New Japan. You know, he has been the main guy for a long time. Like even when he's not the champion, he's still like the biggest star. Like he's the guy that they can put against the heavyweight champion, which happened last month. And do great things. So to see him here in a big match, this is probably going to be the main event for a lot of people. You know, if you're not a DG follower, and it's going to be obviously way high up the card. I would probably say this is, right up there. It depends on what else they have on the show, but between this and the cage match, I think this will be seen as bigger by more fans, like outside of DG.
Yeah.
I mean, for us Dragon Gate fans, the cage match is very big, which I'm gonna move on to now because I'm moving on from the main event to the semifinal on this first Korakuen. The main event was great. It was the Courage versus the veterans. It's exactly what you would expect, right? It was 17 minutes of great wrestling, in my opinion. Like nothing to write home, like nothing special, but still great. Yeah. Do you guys have anything to say about this main event on the Korakuen? On night one?
Yeah, I watch these shows here, and we always go to these Dragon Gate, not smaller shows is the right way to say it, but smaller and important show, even though it actually got a really good number, compared to some other, I mean, this did more than the All Japan show with the Triple Crown on it a couple of days prior.
Yeah.
But, you look at this, and the Courage is a great team and a great unit. They're always going to get the most out of everything. Doi is just on one this year. I mean, man, what a great performer.
Yeah.
He is. I just love what he's doing in all of his matches. DK, one of my favorites. Yamato, always a solid guy to have. So, lots of good stuff there.
So the first night on the 1st of June did 928 in Korakuen. That is actually very low for Dragon Gate.
Yeah, for Dragon Gate, and it got beat the next night too.
Yeah, Dragon Gate.
But compared to other companies,
above.
I mean, like no one wishes they could do 1,000 people on a random show like this in Korakuen.
Though there, I kind of dispute that number. But there was a crowd shot, and it looked really emptied, like DDT levels empty.
Ooh, look out. We've seen that more and more. And I think that's something, not to go back to the start of the show with Fujiwara and SBK, but that's something we didn't really mention that probably should be taken into account. The wrestling economy in general is way down right now since the pandemic and everything. You look at even the good shows and stuff, it's still way down from where they were before the pandemic happened. And with DG, there's a lot of shows. Like, this is something I'm not speculating on that, but just in general, I think it's worth mentioning. They run more shows than pretty much any other company. Like, just in terms of number, like they're all over the place pretty much. And I think that could probably wear on some of these guys sometimes. When you look at that, not just with what we say recently, but just in general, I think that could wear on people. And why, if you're not a tried and true Dragon Gate fan, you can end up skipping a lot of these shows in general. It can even wear on the fans, even sometimes.
I always go with I always say to new viewers of Dragon Gate that the Korakuens are the only tour shows you need to watch. Like all the Kobe Sambo Hall, you don't need to watch a full Kobe Sambo Hall show. Like you don't need to watch like the Sapporo triple shots and all those things. We do, because it's kind of our job.
Yeah, it gives us something to talk about.
Yeah, but
I'd argue you shouldn't watch them, like at least in full.
Yeah, but it is also like the Korakuens are always newsworthy. This first night was of course, the big news of Yamato and Hiromu was the big headline at the end of the show, but it was also a very eventful show. Even without that, and it was free. It is still free on the Dragon Gate network. No need to sign up. You can go and watch this first night of Korakuen for free. So we talked about the main event. Now we'll go back to the start of the show and then run through the rest of the card from night one. At the start of the show, Kota Minoura and Minorita defeated Eita and La Estrella when Kota Minoura hit a jumbo-like jumping knee on La Estrella after 8 minutes and 13 seconds. this was a very fun opener, but nothing special. It is weird how over Eita is. He's not doing anything in this company, and he is super over.
Yeah. Perfect opener guy, so. I popped so hard for the high knee, for the jumping knee as a finisher.
Yeah, it's interesting that Kota Minoura won with the jumping knee.
All for it.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I also have to say, I can't wait when Las Rhea is gone again. And not to knock him,
yeah,
but he's obvious. Like, it's sad that he'll go back to make on excursion, and this was just a tour stop, so to say. And you know, it was fun having him on a few shows, him challenging Jason. But now he's just a guy without anything to do.
Yeah, he very much should go back on excursion.
Yeah,
and
go back to Mexico.
Come back with a character shift, please.
Just come back as the Yahweh guy.
Yeah.
Go back to Mexico. Do some more Yahweh. Do some more BJJ.
When Lars Rail comes back, he should be joining a faction. Like he.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, fun opener. Dylan, did you have anything to say about this?
No, Eita rocks. I love watching him in all of his matches. I wish
Except
that he
Noah.
No, not in Noah. That was me and Paracetamol. Eita, no. But just as him, I love what he's doing. Thank God. Maybe that's why I like him so much in Dragon Gate is because he's not in Stinger. Like he's not in the Stinger verse that they put together in Noah. So I think that automatically gives him a bump. Yeah, like nothing special about the match, but I did want to point out that Eita. It's tough because he did go freelance, but I do think they could actually do a lot more with them if they wanted to, which they don't. But so we have to enjoy this opener.
The pop will just be bigger when he comes back at World with with SBK and Takuma. You know, it's just all a ruse. The new big faction.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have told me that too on the emails. That he
yeah.
He said the same thing.
So is this considered a spoiler then?
I don't want to blow the whistle on everything, but I'm just telling you the emails I got, which are very reliable.
And then in the next match, no emails in this next match. Jason Lee, UT, and Jackie Funky Kame of Natural Vibes defeated Genki Horiguchi, Sachi Hokuboy, and Kagatora when Jason Lee hit the maximum driver after 6 minutes and 22 seconds on Sachi Hokuboy. This was nothing. It was a fine match. Nothing special.
It pleases me to report that UT is now blonde.
Yep.
Cool. That's about it for this match.
The best thing about that was that Ho Lund on commentary said, UT's new haircut looks very expensive. that was funny.
That's the kind of analysis you get from Ho Ho.
Yeah.
And I guess the only email would be, we did email Jason for that interview we did, right?
True.
Or so Scott did. So, and he was very wonderful answering, and he had a lot of great answers. So shout out to Jason. Also very happy. Anytime JFK gets a win, my soul, it gets a piece of all of these shattered pieces I've had in my life. A little piece gets put back into it whenever JFK gets a win. So Jason, I felt a little better afterwards.
Not to get off. Jason said on commentary the day after that he wanted to face Jackie Funky Kame at Kobe World, and then Jay said, "But well, he's the Triangle Gate champion. I think he should be in his own match." And Jason immediately sounded really sad. It was really funny to listen to. We'll get into the Brave Gate scene. I have no idea where it's going right now, but we'll get into that later. Then 8-man tag, Don Fuji, Punch Tominaga, Ryofuda, and Daiki Yanaguchi lost to Diamante, Kai, Hyo, and Ishin of Seabrats when Ishin hit a swinging scrap buster on Daiki Yanaguchi after a lot of brawling. This was just brawls. Just a lot of crowd brawls and exactly what you would expect.
Ryofuda is back.
Yeah. Not doing anything.
Where'd he go?
I think he just has a lot of battles with injuries.
He needs a home in Dragon Gate.
Yes.
Like he needs something there.
He's
It's so
good.
sad to see him in the like teaming with Punch and stuff like that.
He's good.
And then the next match, 6-man tag, Masaki Mochizuki, Susumu Mochizuki, Yasushi Kanda versus Shuji Kondo, Takeshi Yoshida, and Problem Dragon. This ended when Shuji Kondo threw in Problem Dragon to stop the countout happening at 19. And it was really good. And this, of course, was just a build for the Twin Gate match the day after. They did a lot of like box work on this and set up Kondo's knee getting worked over in the match the day after, and like Shuji Kondo really like was on the mission to make sure that Kondo's knee was injured going into the Twin Gate match the day after, and it also was a lot of like box stuff that would come into play the day after. So yeah, this match was a setup.
Problem Dragon supremacy agenda in full effect. What a win.
Yeah.
What a win in this match.
Yeah, not only did he win this, but he's also in the King of Gate. That is Problem Dragon wins there.
Oh,
Sources have told me
no.
he's a sleeper candidate to win.
Yes. But in all honesty, this was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was.
And
It was
you know,
pretty
with this match being fun and the 8th man before going like under 4 minutes and being so also fun. Well,
yeah.
You know, it was over before it could be bad. Until this point, the show was pretty good, or at least.
I thought this first night of the Korakuen was pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it isn't good on paper, you know.
Yeah.
It's better than the sum of its parts. So it felt weird somehow, a little bit different. I can't put my finger on it, what it is. But you know, having this as a free show is good.
Yeah, I think they should. When they have these double shots in Korakuen, they should make at least one of those nights free. And I'm glad they did with this double shot. But then we had in the next match, Casey and Big Boss Shimizu, big time of Natural Vibes, losing to Ben K and BB Hulk of Gold Class when Ben K hit the spear on Big Boss Shimizu after 30 minutes and 52 seconds. And I got to say, has Big Boss Shimizu pissed in Ryo Saito's soup or something like that? Because what happened? The last Korakuen we saw was after Dead or Alive, and Big Boss Shimizu came out and he challenged the Big Six, and there was nothing. And it didn't lead to anything. What happened to him that he couldn't get that title match with Kikuta?
The only way is to win the King of Gate. They put the gauntlet in front of him. They refuse.
I think they should have just run that match on one of these two shows.
Yeah, they should have.
It's that simple.
Yeah, I don't understand why they. What did he do that made that made them go like, no, you're just gonna be in the Triangle Gate now. You're not even getting the shot versus Kikuta, even though you
don't even do a story about it.
Yeah,
like it's just forgotten.
Like I said, between the main event, Hiromu coming in, this is another example. It seems like for whatever reason, there's been a lot of fly-by-night booking lately in Dragon Gate. It just seems like stuff's thrown out there and it's not thought about particularly well, and then it just something happens that changes stuff, and now we're doing something totally different. Because they did totally set up him challenging for the title, and then they just moved away from it. There really is no good explanation. It's bad stuff.
It's very confusing. Outside of that, this was a pretty good tag match. I thought Casey and Big Boss Shimizu are such a good tag team, and as I've said multiple times this year, BB Hulk this year has been so good since he joined Gold Class, and it's totally revitalized him. And we'll talk about that more the next night also, because he had a great performance that night also. But I thought this was just awesome. A great tag.
Yeah, it was good. I thought everybody looked pretty good here. Ben K has been one of the highlights of the company for some time now. He always was one of the best to me. But obviously since joining Gold Class, he's gotten more prominence and actually getting to do stuff and show all the stuff that he always had. And obviously, Big Time is a great team. So I think that there was no way this match wasn't going to work out.
Yeah.
I just wish BB Hulk could be Minoru or Minorita. But
yeah, we'll get into that on night 2. But yeah, then we move on to Strong Machine J versus Shun Skywalker in a special singles match, and this was just brawls. It was nothing. They didn't even try to have a series, have like an actual wrestling match, because they just did a lot of brawls, a lot of mask ripping, all that. And I thought it was entertaining for the story, but as a match, it was pretty nothing. But it was I'm so into the story of Strong Machine J versus Shun that I was like really entertained by it. But as a wrestling match, it wasn't.
Story is part of it.
Yeah.
Like, wrestling isn't just a match.
Yeah.
Have to say, SMJ, best babyface in this company.
Yeah, he is really over. He got the Korakuen crowd to get really invested into this.
To me, he's the most engaging part of Dragon Gate right now.
Yeah. Shame though, he lost this match. When Shun first hit a double moonsault, like a moonsault double knee drop, and then Jay kicked out, and then he hit the second one. He is going for the SSW, but instead did the moonsault knees again and got the win that time. Dylan, what do you think about this match before we talk about the post match?
Just setting up the cage match. It was fun to watch. Like you said, the story is the main thing. Just to add that extra layer of intensity to get them all in this big mask match deal that they're going to do. And I thought it was totally effective. Both men did a great job in their roles. Shun is very engaging in this style. Just such a great character worker that this is the exact kind of match up his alley that he could really thrive in. And Strong Machine J, like y'all said, totally got the crowd into him. Thought they did a fantastic job here to set things up. And that's going to be one of the more... like I said, there's a lot of fly-by-night booking, but that cage match is the one match where you can point to and be like, okay, this has had stakes that's been built up all year.
Yeah.
Like, in two different ways. So I think that they were able to combine them both in one match here. It makes something out of it. It gives Shun and Strong Machine something to do, because you would have thought they probably would have been on the outside looking in if they weren't involved in the cage match, if it was just going to be a one-on-one between Diamante and Ultimo. So now you put them in this match and you give them a spotlight match that they should have. Like, both of these characters and their feud should have it. So I think it was really good all around.
So after this match, SMJ said he was willing to put up anything for a match again with Shun and try to win against him again. And Shun said, "Okay, let's I don't care about you. You're pathetic, but let's do. If you really need to put your mask on the line, I'll take your mask, sure." But then Dragon Kid came into the ring and they said he had a message from Ultimo Dragon to Diamante, which led to Ultimo Dragon finally agreed to have a match with Diamante. He said he was okay with that, and all that. It all led to Ryo Saito staying in the ring, saying, "I will make a decision tomorrow." Ryo Saito, everyone was pitching ideas for this match that they wanted to have. Diamante wanted the Ultimo. Ultimo said, "Fine, I'll have a match, but it has to be tag." Strong Machine J wanted Shun Skywalker. Shun Skywalker agreed, "Let's just do mask versus mask tag match." But Ryo Saito said, "Let's wait until tomorrow. I'll sleep on this." and he basically made sure that people had to tune into the next site to find out where this all was leading, which we'll get to on night 2. So that was the first night. We talked about the main event earlier. Also on this show, they announced the King of Gate and some big shows happening soon, but we'll talk about that at the end of the show. So then we move over to night 2 in Korakuen on the 2nd of June. Also live on Dragon Gate Network. Not free though, but this did 1,038 fans. So about 100 more than the night before. So that's good. That is the number I kind of expect for Dragon Gate Korakuens. I would say this crowd on night 2 was a bit more engaging, so that helped. In the opener, Masaki Mochizuki, Don Fuji, Naruki Doi defeated Minorita, Daiki Yanaguchi, and Ryuya Tanaka. So this was a great opener. It ended when Masaki Mochizuki pinned Daiki Yanaguchi with the bustle kick. And since we didn't talk about his debut match, first of all, what are your guys' thoughts on Ryuya Tanaka?
Epic wrestler already. Totally wrestles my style. Great look. He reminds me a lot of T-Hawk and how he wrestles. And I think that's a great person to be modeling yourself after. If you look at his status as a wrestler right now. So good for him. Hope he does more. Love what I saw of him in the debut match and in this as well. So shout out to Tanaka.
I thought the debut match was spectacular.
Yeah, the debut match was fantastic. Go watch
that. Was way worth going out of your way to watch.
Definitely. From Osaka on the 28th.
Yeah.
Ryuya Tanaka, already a new king of shops in Dragon Gate.
With him, we'll see what the floor is with him.
Yeah.
I think he has great potential. Also, like in the size and looks department, he's already pretty good. We'll see what the floor is, but also like the ceiling. I think the ceiling is the sky with him.
Yeah.
I can really see. Obviously, like he's 2 matches in. I don't want to like hamstring him with too high expectations, but that would be. I wouldn't be surprised if he would be a major player. Like when I see him, it's way more of. He's clearly the star already of his team.
Well, I would say in Korakuen, Daiki Yanaguchi is the star.
Yes, but he's minuscule.
Yeah. Daiki Yanaguchi, as always, is awesome in Korakuen. It is him and Don Fuji is like a set rivalry this year in Dragon Gate. They clearly hate each other, and it's so fun to see.
Also, a big Amy moment on Tanaka's debut. Tanaka comes out in this gear that everybody could envy him for, and he faces Yamato, who still wrestles in his high-end gear.
Yeah. Yeah, Yamato still hasn't moved on from the high-end gear.
No.
He said he's waiting until December, because that is when his tailor gets in. Works. Apparently.
Okay, I haven't heard that.
1 month a year tailor? What kind of cheapskate tailor is this?
Just ask Susumu. Come on.
yeah, right. But
this is a mom and pop organization. You got people who can do everything. Get Hulk. Get you some graphics. Build up that graphic game. Build you some new gear with Susumu. You could get it done, Yamato. Get it done, my friend.
Yeah. But yeah, this I think the sky's the limit for Ryuya Tanaka. He in only the 2 matches we've seen of him, he's already like impressed a lot. So he's definitely a rookie to look out for this year. Daiki Yanaguchi keeps being great also. So, and also Minorito is in this match. I completely forgot about him in this match. But yeah, this opener from night 2 was pretty good.
Really good. Yeah, it's on YouTube also. Like,
yeah,
go watch
it's
it.
on YouTube. Go watch it. And then in the next match, UT and Ho-Ho-Lun defeated Problem Dragon and Punch Tominaga after 5 minutes and 42 seconds when UT did the Fuego on Punch Tominaga.
Sondre said I could skip this.
Yeah, it wasn't that. It wasn't anything special.
How dare you? How dare you disrespect the legendary Ho-Ho-Lun by skipping this match with contemporaries Problem Dragon and Punch Tominaga, and even UT.
Jason Lee was on commentary for this. That was good.
And UT had blonde hair, and you still skipped it. Ah, well.
Yeah. What do you think about this match?
I mean, it definitely happened, but I mean, there's nothing to really write home about.
Also, Dylan, did you know what? I skipped the next match too.
Wow, really?
Yeah,
I
that
actually
was
thought
kind of I was kind of on a time crunch. I would have been interested in it, but like it was.
The next match also wasn't that standout. You didn't miss much, in my opinion. Kagetora defeated La Estrella with the Tobinui after 7 minutes and 51 seconds. Dylan, what do you think about this? Because I was not impressed about this match at all.
I mean, it was better than the last match.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I thought like the last match was like a solid, not important lower card match.
Yeah.
And this match was a solid, not important mid card match.
Yeah.
Pretty much. So I did think it was better. I didn't think it was that bad. But it's not. I don't want to oversay. It's not like anything you have to rush out to see. But I thought for, a 7-minute Kagetora La Estrella match, that this is as good as you would
it was
expect.
solid. It was solid.
Yeah.
But I'm glad Kagetora didn't take the microphone after the match and challenge Jason. That was what I was thinking this match was set up for it to be. Was to set up Kagetora versus Jason at Kobe. I'm glad they aren't doing that, but I'm also confused about what is happening with Jason on Kobe. They haven't announced a single match yet for him.
Yep.
And none of the Jackie Funky Kame will be in the Triangle Gate match, so he won't be challenging Jason. So it's kind of like we don't know yet. They still have Taiki Yanaguchi.
It's not a Korakuen, no.
Yeah, true. But yeah, that I don't know. We'll talk about Jason. We'll talk about Kobe World later. But then in the next match, 8-man tag, Kota Minoura, BB Hulk, and Ben K of Gold Class defeated Yamato, Eita, and Takeshi Yoshida after 9 minutes and 5 seconds when BB Hulk hit the first flash on Takeshi Yoshida. This was a fun 6-man tag, not 8-man tag. Why does this say 8-man tag? It was a 6-man tag. It was fun. I thought the finishing stretch in particular was really good, and Hulk was entertaining.
I thought that Ada was good. In limited appearance.
Yeah.
But I didn't think it was anything to write home about.
Fun.
Yeah.
Like perfect
Baby Hulk
match.
Baby Hulk and Ben K winning these 2 matches on the undercards on both these shows would come into play later on this show. And then we move over to Dragon Kid and Madoka Kikuta versus D Courage, Dragon Dai, and Yuki Yoshioka. This was obviously a preview tag for Yuki Yoshioka and Kikuta, but it was also Dragon Dai versus Dragon Kid in it, which was very entertaining. This was probably the best match on this show up until this point. And it ended when Yuki Yoshioka hit the frog splash on Dragon Kid after 11 minutes and 33 seconds. My main point of this match was that, first of all, I'm really hyped for Yoshioka versus Kikuta, but I would also, if Dragon Kid and Dragon Dai isn't doing anything at Kobe World, put them in a singles match against each other.
Okay. Huh. Yeah.
Because
I have kind of another idea for them.
Okay, what is your idea for them?
They should tag.
Yeah, but against who?
Kota Minoru Minorita.
Okay, yeah. That Kota Minoru isn't doing anything so far on.
Yes, and that's a big problem if you ask me.
It is a big problem.
You have a main event without a lot of buzz. And then to further the buzz, to let KENTo to make this match that makes total sense and has potential to be really good. And you give them 11 minutes and put them third from the top.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
It was good though. But yeah. It was right before the intermission.
Yes, but give them 18 minutes and put them in the main event of night 1.
Yeah, I see your point.
Yeah,
what
that's true.
What do you think about this?
It's telling that they would do that, considering they gave the next match, a much healthier amount of time. I just think, like I said, I don't know. I can't say this for sure that this is what happened, but I feel like something happened with the main event to not make it super. It didn't work out maybe how they planned it, one way or the other. I think that to them, the cage match is the real main event. Like,
yes.
At least in their mind, that's why they did it this way.
Yeah, we'll get to that soon. I think on night 1 on this show, on these two shows, they couldn't do this preview tag because they wanted to have Yamato and Hiromu be the final shot of that. That VTR thing. And then yeah. But either way, this was a great preview for the main event of Kobe. But then we move over to what led to the big cage match we have been talking about. A 10-man tag, all of Natural Vibes except UT. So that will be Casey, Big Boss, Shimizu, Jason Lee, Strong Machine J, and Jackie Funky Kamei. Losing to Seabrats, Shun Skywalker, Diamante, Kiai, and Hyo, and Ishin when Diamante hit the Volta Finale on Jackie Funky Kamei after 15 minutes and 9 seconds. So, should be noted, this was all of Seabrats now that KENTo is no longer with the company. I just realized that, so I had to say that Shun Skywalker, Diamante, Kiai, Hyo, and Ishin are all of Seabrats now. But yeah, this match was exactly what you would think when you see Natural Vibes versus Seabrats in a 10-man tag. It was unit warfare, crowd brawling. It was Jackie Funky Kamei being hot as usual with the crowd, and just a fun 10-man tag. What do you guys think about this 10-man tag before we talk about the post match?
What do you think, Yannik?
Oh man, I have two contradicting thoughts about this.
Yeah.
The match itself I thought was really fun. Not much of a match here, but crowd brawling. It changed a lot. So they were all on the outside at first with the crowd brawling, then
Shun and SMJ going up in the stands.
Yeah, exactly. Shun and SMJ obviously were like
the main story.
interspersed the main story of it, but then in the ring first it was just Seabrats dominating, and then the vibes, hope spot, the traditional everybody gets their finisher in streak. For 50 minutes, this was 50 minutes for 10 men isn't that much. There was a good flow of it. But what I also realized is that I really like Seabrat as a heel faction, but with this iteration of it, I'm starting to get tired of them.
Yeah, they need some new blood.
And I'm looking at them, and I just think, well, like 4 of these 6 guys, no, 3 of these 5 guys could turn face, and it would, it would make
Yeah.
sense for them. And then it's just like Shun, who is delusional, and Ishin, where it would just be kind of dumb because
Yeah.
it's so recent that he joined.
I do think that the other members of Seabrats, Kai, Hyo, and Ishin are gonna be the Triangle Gate challenge at Kobe.
Take that, but well, it wouldn't be ideal.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing they would have for them right now.
Yeah.
And that could also lead to maybe someone joining Seabrats from a Natural Vibes trio.
Okay.
I'm not advocating for that, but it could happen. But either way, I think Seabrats needs a shakeup because these 5, any like combo of these 5, except Shun, Skywalker, and Diamante, are like not that interesting because I've seen it so many times this year because it is only these 5 guys. not to shout out just 5 guys, but Diamante and Shun obviously are a great tag team as together. We saw what Kai and Ishin could do as a tag team last at Dead or Alive, which was very fun, and I like that pairing a lot. But I also just feel like they need some new blood in this unit. Someone like Ryufuda could be interesting to have join Seabrats because that would give him something to do, and it would give them some fresh blood, which they really need. So, either way, this Seabrats, these 5 guys only being Seabrats for the rest of the year would be very repetitive because already Hyo is so just repetitive and seems like every match is the same with Hyo.
The only I actively want to watch from them, if it isn't like a big match, it's only Ishin that holds my attention.
Yeah. But of course, as we have alluded to multiple times during this show, Ryu Saito came out after this match and he has made up his mind. Because after this match, of course, everyone's continued brawling because Natural Vibes and Seabrats is a feud that will never end. But after Ryu Saito came out and he said he has made up his mind about Kobe World, and this mask versus mask thing that they set up the day before, and he said that at Kobe World on July 2nd, inside a steel cage, it will be a 4-way. Shun Skywalker versus Diamante versus Ultimo Dragon versus Strong Machine J. Cage survival rules. The last wrestler in the cage will be the one that loses his mask. So this is, of course, a cage match where you have to escape, and the one that isn't able to escape will lose his mask. So, what do you guys think about this? This is obviously something they have built so much over the last few months that it makes so much sense. I'm surprised we didn't predict it.
Well, exactly what I said. This is really the only match that actually has build to it going to Kobe.
Yeah. Did Dylan get out?
I don't know.
Yeah, like, what do you think about this?
Okay, it makes total sense. It's also, you have Shun Mont in there as a team, but it's a 4-way, facing 2 faces, but we don't know, like they haven't ever really worked together, and it's Ultimo. I fear that this 4-way gives him too much power to go into business for himself.
Yeah.
But also the question is, can Ultimo still climb? So, the obvious answer here is Diamante, but, last time, the obvious answer was also Diamante, and we all know how that turned out.
Yeah. Of course, if it had been a tag match, it would have been under the tag match where the tag match rules of the guy that takes the pin has to lose the mask. But they changed this.
Dylan will be back in a few minutes.
Yeah. They changed this up that it feels like Shun and Diamante are on. This is kind of like a way to get them to not have the advantage, because now they have to fight against each other, kind of. It will probably lead to a lot of shenanigans, and I do see the potential for a big turn here coming.
The thing is, I could totally imagine Shun not escaping, and just continue to torment Strong Machine.
Yeah.
Like escaping the cage isn't something that would fit his character.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued. Like,
I'm interested if, like, as you said, the obvious one is Diamante to lose his mask, but I could see it being Shun also.
yes, I think the only one that won't. It isn't either of the faces.
Yeah, Ultimo is not losing.
Ultimo is not losing because it's Ultimo, and it would be such a big mistake for a Strong Machine to lose the mask.
Yeah, I also think that the Strong Machine mask adds so much to his whole babyface aura and everything about him.
Yes, he'll lose it eventually. Like, I'm pretty sure about that. But let him be super face, then maybe turn him heel, and then he can lose it eventually.
Yeah. Either way, this is obviously I think Dylan would have said this were he here, but he's dealing with some technical issues. This is obviously like the money match on the show for Dragon Gate, for the Dragon Gate audience. It is the only match that has like a complete build to it, kind of.
That's true.
And I think that is awesome. It should lead to a big shakeup, and I hope it leads to the end of Diamante as a heel. But yeah, it's no guarantee that will happen. But then,
it's still an Ultimo match, and it's also a Shun match. So that the kind of that it's all factors that put it in a way that it kind of has to go, and I'm not the most excited for it.
Yeah.
But I know it will be quality. It will be a lot of fun, and I'll sit there in the crowd and have. I just hope I can see everything well with the cage.
Yeah.
But there will be shenanigans with Zebrats and all. Like, I'm looking forward to this. I'm not hyped, but I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah. What do you think about this cage match?
Before, I was rudely interrupted by people coming after me for revealing my sources on the air. I apologize about that. But regardless of that, the cage match. The one thing that they've really built up over the last few months for Kobe World really feels like a major Kobe World match. Not just in terms of in-ring quality, but the story behind it in both of them. It's great that they're able to do some big things with these guys, because it felt like Shun and Strong Machine might have been on the outside looking in. We all kind of speculated Diamante and Ultimo would do a match. We wondered if it would happen sooner, maybe do something in Mexico. I know Ultimo's trying to start up Toriyama in Mexico again, but Kobe World is the ideal stage for that. And now you added these two other characters who are having their own grudge feud that's been going on for a while, and really one of the more one of the ones you're more emotionally invested, or at least I'm emotionally invested in, is Shun and Strong Machine. So you put them together, great things can come out of it. I think there's a lot of interesting ways they can approach this match per se, not just necessarily the winner and loser, but how they get there. I think could spin off for so many different things and paths for the different players in the match overall, and I think that's a lot of interesting things. Did you guys say who y'all thought was going to win?
No, we haven't gotten. Oh well, I think my I think Diamante
Well,
is
there
losing.
isn't really a winner. It's
yeah,
just
who's gonna lose?
one
really,
loser.
Yeah. I think Diamante is losing his mask. That is my prediction. So right now it's Diamante.
Yes. I said it's the obvious one is Diamante, but like he was the obvious one last time too, and the rest is history. I give some chance to Shun.
I was thinking that same thing actually.
But it's like 70% Diamante.
The last time in 2021 they had a mask versus mask match, no one expected Dragon Dia to lose his mask, which was why it was so big when he lost his mask. Like everyone was expecting it to be Dia Inferno, and Dia Inferno ended up taking off his mask anyway and revealed that he was Yuki Yoshioka. So, but I do think that Diamante just feels so right to take his mask off and have like a big babyface turn.
Yeah.
I think taking the mask of Strong Machine J would be a blow to him because it's so much part of his identity.
Yeah.
Shun, maybe he could. It would be smart for him to lose the mask. Maybe, I don't know. Shun is such a weird guy to talk about because anything he can do anything and it will still be entertaining. He will make it entertaining. Ultimo is not losing his mask. That I think that is the least likely one.
Yeah, no. That's the one that's definitely not going to happen.
Yeah,
and I agree with you.
Jay would just be a mistake.
And it just wouldn't fit his gimmick at all, like for him to lose. There would have to be some radical change, like for that to happen. Something like, hey, like I'm done representing the Strong Machine name. I'm doing something way different. But there's no reason to, like, at this point, it would have to be something again we wouldn't really be privy to. Shun, I think there is absolutely potential, and giving him another kind of fresh coat of paint and upgrade, so to speak. Getting rid of the mask could make him just go even more off the deep end, and I think that could lead to some very entertaining things.
Yeah.
Diamante losing, I think what you said is true. That would probably lead to him, becoming more of a babyface character at the end of it. If they're going to shake up Z-Brats in some way, I think that would probably be the best option. It is the most likely, and also I think probably the best on paper. But I don't discount it possibly being Shun. I also don't discount it coming down to Shun and Diamante being the last two in the cage as well.
Yeah.
And with that, we move over to the main event on night 2 of these Korakuen Hall shows. Open the Twin Gate title match. Kongo, Shuji Kondo, and Keno making their second defense against MK, Susumu Mochizuki, and Yasushi Kanda. And it was not a successful defense as MK, Susumu Mochizuki, and Yasushi Kanda are the new Open the Twin Gate champions after 17 minutes and 51 seconds when Yasushi Kanda countered a gorilla clutch into a roll-up pin. So, first of all, I said, not on air, but I said in private to people that I don't see Shuji Kondo and Keno winning this because I have been looking at the build they have done for Susumu and Kanda. Felt so weird as them because you don't see challengers lose every single match in their preview tags, which they did. They lost every single tag. Shuji Kondo basically was like owning both of them in every preview we saw of them, which made me think that maybe the big thing is going to be Yasushi Kanda getting a big babyface performance and shock win. And I was right. I was right about MK, as I was earlier this year when I said they were going to be a sleeper hit in the Reyes de Parejas. But they are the 63rd champions, the Open Twin Gate champions, and I think that is a well overdue title reign. Yasushi Kanda has never held the Open Twin Gate title, and I think it's so deserving right now to give it to him because he has been such a good wrestler this year, and he has been totally revitalized, and it's really entertaining, and they are so over with the crowd, so it just makes sense. What do you guys think about this?
Man, I thought this match rocked. I thought it was like, way. I don't want to say a sleeper match because I think people were, anticipating it, and it's crazy to me. Kanda was such a nothing wrestler for so many years.
Yeah.
And for some reason, this team with Susumu. Another point in the greatness of Susumu as well. I think we need to give him his flowers here for like being the kingpin of this, so to speak. But Kanda's really done a great job and found his place here in this tag team. They've worked such a great year so far, and this was another example of that. The KENto, he's kind of like my MVP of wrestling overall, just because he's in so many different companies, so many different ways, different stories, different types of stories. From a story purpose, he is kind of like the main character of a lot of companies. And he's not the main character of Dragon Gate, but he's done a great job here in this match and his match last month as well. Him and Kondo, really good team as well. Kondo, always reliable power guy in DG. I thought everything just worked in this match, and I would highly recommend it. I thought it was the best match at either of the two shows.
Yeah. Yannik, what do you think about this?
I agree. Kondo was outstanding here.
Yeah.
Like he gets a lot of flack, but like the year he wrestles, this is deserved, and I don't expect this to survive World. But it doesn't have to. Like this is a reward, not
Susumu and Kondo don't need to retain that world.
No. This is just a pure feel-good reward.
Yeah.
Type of thing, and it's not just for the wrestlers; it's also for the fans.
Yeah. Korakuen has been Susumu and Yasushi Kanda's place this year because there is the Piraeus tournament final, which a lot of people still are considered their match of the year in Dragon Gate. It is one of the best Dragon Gate matches this year, and then this match following again. Just an awesome performance with Susumu and Yasushi Kanda, and it's so not expected because last year, if you would have told me that Yasushi Kanda would be like one of the best wrestlers in Dragon Gate this year because of this tag run, I would be like, what? No, that's not happening. What the? But yeah, they have totally blown everyone away, and I'm so happy about that.
The other side is obviously that we don't have KENto at World.
Yeah. Maybe I think maybe he couldn't work World. Maybe Noah running around that time. That is my speculation on that.
Or they have something better and they give him a singles match.
That would be cool. That would be cool. I hope. Either way, KENto in Dragon Gate is entertaining, and it was entertaining for all three of the matches he had in Dragon Gate during this Twin Gate run was pretty fun. So I hope we see more of KENto in Dragon Gate. It would be cool to see him at Kobe. Maybe a singles match versus someone that isn't doing something like Kota Minoura. That would be interesting.
That's actually who I thought about.
Yeah. Because, of course, after this match, BB Hulk and Ben K came out and they asked first dibs at MK for the Twin Gate defense, and that is exactly like I wanted it to be Ben K and Kota, but they chose Ben K and BB Hulk, which again it could be really entertaining. I wish it was Kota Minoura and Ben K, but
I wish it was literally anyone else than Hulk.
It's still going to be like entertaining, and I think it could very well be Ben K and BB Hulks to win. But I wouldn't be against MK, Susumu and Kanda continuing their reign.
I'm all about this Ben B Hulk agenda right now. You have here. I think they would be a good tag team champions if they wanted to get it. For the Twin Gates. There's some options they could go to. Again, nothing that's particularly. There's no team that feels particularly built up at the moment. That would be available. So.
And of course, this also all the
What
other big
about-
six had something to do now.
What
Now-
about Mochizuki and Mochizuki Jr.?
Yeah,
Yeah.
We don't know what Junior's status is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he's gonna have a match, I think that would be.
He's announced for the Buyudon show on the 8th,
Yeah,
so six days after World. So one has to think he will be
at Kobe.
probably be fit for World.
But maybe he won't be fit for a big match like that.
Yeah,
At Bayern, he's in a 6-man, so
yeah. But you know,
But-
it's cleared or not cleared. It's not like you work like an easy
Yeah,
match. It doesn't really work like that.
Yeah.
I hope they do something like one contenders tag gauntlet or something like that, because
That would
there's
be cool.
a lot of teams that aren't
Yeah,
that don't have anything to do as of now.
yeah,
For example, Minorita.
yeah.
Even though
Dragon Kid and
I
Dragon
hope Minora gets something bigger to do than like
Yeah.
a big gauntlet.
That was what I was gonna say. Was that Kota Minoura is the member of the Big Six that is kind of like has nothing right now for Kobe.
If you ask me, that's a big glaring problem.
Yeah, that is a problem. Like, Kikuta and Yoshioka are in the Dream Gate match, which they should be. Or Ben K is in the Twin Gate match, and Shun Skywalker and Strong Machine J are in the best built match, this Survival 4-way. So, what is Kota Minoura doing? He is also one of the Big Six. Shouldn't he be in a big featured match?
Well, at least he won't ruin any more Kobe Worlds like last year. So
That is a good point, but he still needs something to do because he is a Big Six member.
like I said, to me, the further away from main event he could get is better for him.
But he has had such a good rebounds this year, though. Like, he has...
He had one big match versus Kikuta. He's
Yeah.
not been special otherwise.
What you're saying is
No.
that he needs a big King of Gate run to
If they had King of Gate and actually built him up for it, yes, it would be a lot better. But they clearly got away from that.
Well, the
this
thing
year.
is, that was my transition into something else announced on this Korakuen shows. And that is the King of Gate is going to be running from July 7th in Tokyo, will be the opening rounds. And it will run until August 3rd, back in Tokyo again. The finals and the opening round are both going to be taking place in Korakuen Hall. So, the King of Gate bracket, as it stands right now, on the right side, it is okay. First of all, it is a 32 elimination tournament. It's not round robin. It's a single elimination as last year, and I don't think it was 32 last year. Last year was probably 16.
No, it was 32.
Was it 32 last year also?
Yeah, pretty
Okay.
sure.
But yeah, it's going to be opening round, then round of 16, and then quarterfinals, and then semifinals, all leading into the finals on 3rd of August. I also do think the semifinals are happening on the 3rd of August as well.
Yes, they do.
So
Do they?
on
Yes.
on the left side, we have, starting off, Dragon Dia versus Jason Lee, Yamato versus Don Fuji, UT versus Yo, Casey versus Eita, BB Hulk versus Punch Tominaga, Kota Minoura versus Naruki Doi, Yuki Yoshioka versus Jackie Funky Kame, Kagetora versus Dragon Kid. So that is the opening round matches on the left side. On the left side, any right now, who are the one you would say has left side one? For me, it's pretty clearly that it's going to be Kota Minoura. Because he needs to heat up again.
I'm not sure. I haven't really thought about it, and it doesn't help that I don't have a graphic in front of me that I can read.
Yeah. I'll post this here so that you guys can read that. Well, Okay, so
Oh, thank you.
I can take
Sondre on point with the help right now.
I can take the right side while you guys look at the bracket I posted. So, on the right side, we have Shun Skywalker versus Big Boss Shimizu, Yasushi Kano versus Strong Machine J, Kai versus Ben K, Susumu Mochizuki versus Diamante, Shuji Kondo versus Genki Horiguchi, Ishin versus Minorita, Problem Dragon versus Takeshi Yoshida, Masaki Mochizuki versus Madoka Kikuta, which is an awesome match on paper. So those are the opening rounds matches on the right side.
Right. So for me, looking at this bracket here, first of all, I will say this: it really annoys me how things have played out. That this they really should have done this before Kobe World. Like there's
They
no
should.
question
They
to
should.
me. Yeah, like I said, that really makes my interest in this actually a lot lower. How they've done it. For a match side, I will have to say I think Yoshioka and JFK will be a really fun match.
Yeah.
Oh
Overall,
yes.
There are
that's the match that catches my eye.
a lot of this opening round matches sounds really cool. Mochizuki versus Kikuta, Big Boss Shimizu versus Shun.
Ishin versus Minorita.
Oh
That's
yeah.
a match for me.
Yeah, right side, they have some good gimmick type of matches. Yeah, Mochizuki Kikuta, that would be another one. Kai versus Benkei, I think, is going to sneak up on some people. That's going to be a great match, in my opinion.
I could imagine having having Minoru versus Benkei as a final.
Yeah. I do think that this tournament is Kota Minoru's to win. That is my
Yes.
right now.
That would make sense. I don't really have like a favorite right now. It's really up in the air.
I talked about this earlier today with Amy that I can't really predict who's going to win this until Kobe World has happened.
You know, it could also be Diamante.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
It's like I can't really formulate how they are going to build this King of Gate before Kobe World has happened, because Diamante could be maskless, and then maybe because he's maskless, they will give him like a super push, and they could do Kota Minoru or something like that. It's like I don't know. I have no idea, because right now my mind on Dragon Gate is focused on Kobe World.
And that's the thing; it's harder to predict it. Once we get past Kobe World, I think we'll have a lot clearer idea of who it can be overall.
So,
but
yeah.
I'm just well, I'm kind of happy to get to see Casey versus Eita live.
Yeah,
and
you're gonna be live at
Kikuta versus Mochizuki, like Madoka versus Masaki.
Yeah.
I also get BB Hulk versus Punch.
Yeah, that's gonna be short. Don't worry about that.
I feel personally attacked.
But yeah, that was big news announced from these two Korakuens. Also announced on these two Korakuens are that on they have added another big show to their schedule. That is going to be happening on the 27th of January, 2024. So this is going to be the first big show after Final Gate, and the first big show of 2024.
On my birthday.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And something that has been needed in Dragon Gate a long time is a strong year starter. And they are doing it for the first time ever. They are going to Yokohama Budokan. And that is going to be Jay said it on commentary that this is going to be like a staple show that is going to happen at the start of in January every year going forward. It is the plan. So they are going to treat this as one of the big shows. So this is going to be added to Dead or Alive, Kobe World, Dangerous Gate, Gate of Destiny, and Final Gate as big Dragon Gate shows of the year. And it's something that Dragon Gate has needed for a long time, is a show that starts off the year strong. And I'm happy they are doing that.
I think it's a better thing than what they did this year. I mean, I like the Rey de Parejas well enough, but I think having this in there as like a tentpole event
Yeah.
you could really use that to spring forward into a lot of great things
And
overall.
every
I
other
agree.
pure company also does this. So it's like Dragon Gate should like have some hype at the start of the year with this and not just the Korakuen Hall shows. Which always are eventful, but this should be like a big show to look forward to at the start of the year. And then they also announced the card for Biden Zero on July 8th in Tokyo Shinjuku Face, live on the Dragon Gate Network. So this is going to be happening at the same time as some of the opening round matches in the King of Gate. I think Dragon Dia, Kagetora, and Dragon Dia, Jason Lee, Kagetora, and Dragon Kid. Shuji Kondo and Genki Horiguchi. Okay, yeah. Those 3 matches are happening at the same time as this show, but in a different place. So that's why some people aren't on this show that would be on the show. The Dragon Gate signed people. But this show is going to be live on the Dragon Gate Network. The King of Gate matches are of course going to be on the YouTube uploads, YouTube digest. But the card as it looks right now, with no match order yet, is that the Owari Gate title is making a comeback. To decide an interim champion, Konomawa Ishikawa is going to be facing someone yet to be decided. They have not. He is accepting any challenge that comes his way. That, of course, the Owari Gate title was a comedy title back in the day that has been gone for a couple of years, and it's making a comeback. The last champion was Shingo Takagi, just by the way. And then another match announced was Benkei Minorita Punch Terminal again versus Hikaru Sato, Takumi Ito, Takumi Fumi Ito, Ryo Kawamura. So that's a 6-man tag match. Then another 6-man tag match. Motosuke Jr. makes his turn and he's teaming with Big Boss Shimizu, Daki Yamaguchi, facing Pro Wrestling Noah's Masaki Tamiya, Kai Fujimura, and Taishi Osawa. Then a tag match, Madoka Kikuta and Yuki Yoshioka of D-Courage versus Taro Nohashi and Musashi of Michinoku Pro. Then another tag match. The Open the Twin Gate champions probably won't be the Open the Twin Gate champions at this show because there's potential that BB Hulk and Benkei are. But they're going to be facing Masaru Tanaka and Takuma Sugawara of Pro Wrestling 01. And then this is probably the main event. Yamato and Masaki Mochizuki will be facing Minori Sawa and Fuminori Abe. So Fuminori Abe is teaming up with his trainer Minori Sawa. I am really hyped for this show, especially the main event is like a match for me. What do you guys think about this card?
Yannik would know.
We talked a little bit about this before the recording. It isn't a show for me.
Yeah.
I'll miss this because it goes head to head with SummerSlam Princess, I think.
Yeah, you're going to be at the NJPW big show.
Yes, I would make an exception to this. If I could challenge Konomawa Ichikawa for the override title.
Yeah, true. Dylan, what do you
Yannik,
think?
The smallest X possible.
This is your chance, though, if you could test your political game to worm your way into this match. You need to talk to the right people, get yourself on that show, and shoot on Ishikawa.
Yeah. All the Iron Man
Gate.
training has led to this.
For the Owari Gate title, the one that everyone loves the most.
Yeah.
The most prestigious one. Yeah,
I mean, then I'm officially better than Shingo. Because he isn't champion anymore, I am.
True.
That's true. See, if you could do it, you don't count out Ishikawa. Konomama, he could have your number if you underestimate him. The show though I actually think looks pretty good. You look at that 6-man with Ozawa. I'm a huge fan of his. Fujiwara is good. Kitami is awesome. That's like a really good 6-man.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna surprise some people. The opener is gonna be really good too. Punch is in there, which could lead to it leaning more toward a comedy style. But if they can let the others go, I think they can make something out of it and really, do something good. The tag match could be fantastic. Musashi is gonna really get a chance to spotlight himself to people who don't know him. The Susumu Kanda Tanaka Suwara match, that you don't have to worry about that too much probably.
Yeah.
And the main event, like Sawa is one of my favorite guys. He's a Battle Arts representative, so anybody with Battle Arts ties, I'm automatically going to love a lot.
Also, he's the trainer of Fuminori Abe.
Yeah, I mean, to like people who don't know Sawa's work, that probably might be more important. But to me, Battle Arts is really what I care about most. And I love Abe. Don't get me wrong, a very nice person and a fantastic wrestler.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm really hyped for him to square up there with Mochizuki and Yamato. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and they're great. Yamato and Mochizuki obviously will be a lot of fun with them, and the X match will be goofy Owari Gate stuff. So, to me, this looks like a really fun card to say. It's at a tough point because we're heading right into G1 season. You've got Kobe World on the back end. You've got bigger shows. You talked about TGP show. So it's like it's going to be mixed in with a lot of stuff and probably get lost in the shuffle.
It will also be the day after the opening round of the King of Gate. So, and like the King of Gate will be in full swing also at the time. So,
yeah, like I said, it'll probably get lost in the shuffle, but I think it'll be worth watching on its own.
It is also, by the way, going to be in the same venue as the last Biden in Shinjuku Face. So definitely, we are going to cover it on the show, me and Dylan, while Yannik is in Japan. So look forward to that sometime in July. And I think that is all for this week's episode. All about Dragon Gate this episode because there was a lot of Dragon Gate to talk about. Any last things you guys want to say?
Yeah. Go first,
go.
Please.
I was just gonna ask about Brooks' injury on the DDT side.
I do think that is okay.
Yeah, he had a dislocated shoulder from the Gotham Move show, the Mei Suruga 5 years anniversary.
Yeah.
And the tag title match against Shin Suzuki and Jun Shiryu. It's a dislocated shoulder. He takes a few weeks off, but he should be okay.
Yeah, great news.
They haven't called off the match, so
no. In the meantime, Takeshi Masada took his spot in today's main event, and he came to the ring in Chris Brooks' ring jacket. So this is great.
Yeah, I still haven't watched the Yokohama Unlimited show, which was why we haven't.
Yeah, I've only seen it parts too. Chris Brooks has a lot of time on his hands because he can't wrestle, so he released some new merch. Go check that out. Death by Roll Up. And I want to shake it up a bit because of Gunbury Pro's insistence on running Basement Monsters triple shot. I'm gonna tell you this week: go watch Actress Girls.
I second that. Dylan, what any final things you want to say?
Yeah, thank you to all the listeners out there. Sorry I disappeared for a second earlier, but I had to take care of some stuff here with my family and stuff. So everything's good on that end. Also, something I noted I wanted to thank everybody for. One person in particular, actually. If you look to the keen-eyed listeners out there, we got our first 5-star review on iTunes for Dramatic Dream Dragons out there.
Oh,
so thank you to whoever did that. We really appreciate you on there. Always give us 5 stars if you can. That's a request.
Did they say anything in the review?
I don't think they did on there.
Okay.
But if they did, I apologize, and I will read your review out on the air if you did say something on the next episode. I'll read anybody's review.
I don't have iTunes, so I can check iTunes reviews But
Well, I
definitely.
saw it on I check it on the Google. You know, you just
Oh,
gotta
okay.
Google it. We pop up on there. You can see where we get the reviews. Even if you don't have iTunes, you can still go on there. So,
Okay.
you know, I recommend anyone giving us 5-star reviews wherever you can. It doesn't even have to be on iTunes.
Yeah.
Wherever you can give us 5-star reviews, we
Also,
will take all of them.
if we are also now on YouTube, so any like comments in the YouTube comments would be awesome. Anything would be awesome because we've gotten a few, and I love hearing from the listeners. So definitely thank you for that.
Yes, like and subscribe to the 5-Star Network YouTube,
Yeah.
and you send us comments as well. I will find some way. I will sneak in there and reply to you if you've got something to say, unless it's mean and hurts my feelings.
Yeah.
In which because I may stay away. But
Also check out me and Dylan's review of Double or Nothing, which dropped on Wrestle Update earlier this week.
we did do that.
It was a really
You
fun.
guys were wild last week.
It was a really fun review of Double or Nothing, which was like a show that didn't give us much to talk about, but we somehow talked about it for almost 2 hours. So
that is true. Yeah, we covered the whole gamut. I mean, we had a lot to talk about. It just some of it wasn't that positive. That's the problem. It was it gave us many things to talk about, just not positive ones. So if you want some sassy Sondre, you go to Wrestle Update. And you will hear us talk about Double or Nothing. So that was a lot of fun. I did a show with Scott too, talking about Night of Champions on there, which is a WWE show, new world champion, and all the stuff that happened there. Asuka, new champion, which was very fun as well. This week, I don't know what we're gonna do with Wrestle Update because he's on vacation for the next few weeks. But I've got some stuff planned. Some stuff hasn't worked out as much as I thought it would, but it's okay. Like something will happen. We will do something on that. And also, listen to my other show, The Eastern Lariat, which is all about all of Japanese wrestling. I definitely will do something on the Patreon, patreon.com/Eastern Lariat. I reviewed the All Japan show that happened a couple of days ago with T-Hawk versus Nagata in the main event. And a really good junior title match as well. Atsuki Aoyagi beating Dragon Gate alumni Naruki Doi for the junior title there. New Japan has a show tomorrow. I'm going to review that. And after that, I don't know what's going to happen on the free feed. I think what is going to happen is I'm going to do a show for All Together again, which is the show with New Japan and All Japan and Noah. Strig is on vacation for that too. Apparently, everyone's on vacation lately. But
I'm going on vacation in 2 weeks. Yannik is at the end of the month, so yeah.
Yeah, everyone except Dylan is clearly on vacation. They're the only person that will be that not happening. That won't be happening for. But I will do something. I've got something in mind for that too. We will see how it plays out. But there will be something guaranteed after the All Together show for the free feed, so everybody can listen to that. And at the end of the month, we're going to do our half-year awards too, which I have big plans for. So keep your eyes on our Twitter at Eastern Lariat because there's going to be some updates. In addition to, I'm winning the Eastern Lariat Fantasy Challenge too. I want to take a second to brag about that. I increased my lead once again, thanks to the wonders of Mirai, the team captain with another big month here, part of her tag team, and a lot of great things going on. And obviously the astronauts as well. You mentioned Abe. He's a big part of my fantasy team, so shout out to that. I'm going to bounce back, in the WNBA Fantasy League too. Zavi did beat me on week 1. Former guest on the Ganbare Pro show y'all did a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
I had so many injuries in this 1 week of WNB. I didn't know this was such a physical game with all these injuries, people. So I got to get back on my horse on that end. But regardless of that, lots of fun stuff going on 5-Star Network. And all of my shows, and especially the Wrestle Update and Eastern Lariat, we're going to do some big things. So everybody check those out.
Speaking of half-year awards, we are going to be doing a Dramatic Dream Dragons half-year award probably sometime in July. So I'm thinking of having a guest on for that with me and Dylan, since Yannik will be in Japan, but Yannik will send in his half-year awards for DDT and Dragon Gate specific. Next week, me and Dylan will be back to review the GLEAT Korakuen Hall show, which is happening next week on the 7th, on Wednesday. So, but until then, until next time, as always, be ready, wake up, and go.